Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Merck announcing it submitted an application with the FDA for authorization of the drug molnupiravir. It's an antiviral pill to treat mild to moderate COVID in at-risk adults. 8 pills are taken over 5 days. The U.S. has already bought 1.7 million courses for more than $1 billion if authorized, which could happen by the end of the year. The drug would not be a replacement for a vaccine, but is likely more effective at preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death.
Oh my God, the treatment. Is this the game changer? Well, something's got to give. You know, I keep looking at this insanity when it comes to mandates and asking myself, when does it end? When does it end? When is the flu vaccine mandate? Is that next? Is that going to be mandated next? Well, that's just silly. No, why not? Why not? I mean, why not? Why? Just curious. Just asking a very simple question. Now that we have us versus them kind of scenario going on. And over the weekend, if you didn't know, there was a lot of issues when it came to, this little company called Southwest and flights. And it's very interesting.
Southwest blames the chaos on bad weather in Florida, compounded by air traffic control issues, though the FAA tells ABC no FAA air traffic shortages have been reported since Friday, adding some airlines continue to experience scheduling challenges due to aircraft and crews being out of place.
Yeah, is that true or is it not true? Some people are saying, well, hold on a second. What about the pilots? Because they put a mandate in, and the pilots fired back really quick. Remember, the cabin crew, as we would think of it, right? You know, the people that serve you, the flight attendants, different than the pilots.
All of this chaos comes just days after the Southwest Pilots Union sued the airline for its COVID-19 vaccine mandate, though the union stresses these cancellations are not the result of any pilot action, and they tell us in a statement they will continue to overcome the poor planning of Southwest management.
So it's poor planning, and it was something to do with what? Radar being down in a certain area? I mean, it's what is it really? It's not just in the skies. Look over there, Los Angeles. They're having issues as well. They've got mandates for everybody, and that includes the police and the sheriffs.
The sheriff's aides telling me overnight they are concerned that if the sheriff does try to enforce that vaccine mandate, 5 to 10% of the entire workforce of 18,000 employees could, quote, walk out overnight. L.A. County does have one of the most strict COVID vaccine mandates in the country, with exemptions only for medical or religious purposes.
Yeah. And they're pushing back. Same thing's going on with Seattle.
Los Angeles, a sheriff defying the vaccine mandate for all county employees, vowing not to enforce it.
I don't want to be in a position to lose 5-10% of my workforce overnight on a vaccine mandate.
In Seattle, nearly 300 sworn officers could be fired if they don't submit proof of vaccination before an October 18th deadline. The department reportedly planning to deploy officers on special assignments to cover emergency calls.
Yeah. And this is the battle we have right now. Look, Merck's got something that's out there. That looks good. We're still battling this ridiculous fight. And think about this for a second. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's endemic. Is this the fight we're going to have every single month because you got your shot 6 months ago, but you didn't get your next shot now? So while you complied in the first one, you have it next, so you're suspended. Is this what we're doing? Is this how this is going to go? Because it feels a little bit like this. This is insane. I think most people are living their lives. I think most people have come to the realization, look, this thing isn't going anywhere anytime soon. I got to figure out how to live my life. I've got to figure out how to put food on the table, how to pay the bills, how to do those kind of things. I'm looking around, and quite frankly, at this moment in time, whether you have or hadn't gotten the shot, people are dealing with everything on their own. I was talking to somebody over the weekend who has already been sick, not opposed to getting the shot, but still test positive for the antibodies. And he says, We know, right? We, I guess, is the people he's talking about who do not have the vaccine. We know what we're up against. We know what potentially could happen if we don't get the shot. We understand the risk. Okay. Well, then why am I worried about you? Why is it that we have to protect everybody who doesn't want protection? What is that about? Nobody can explain that to me. The rest of the time, people are trying to figure out what in God's name they're going to do when it comes to work. How is their work going to go? How much is it going to get to work? Because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but whoa!
In the overall economy, what else matters to the average American? Gas prices. And gas prices in October of 2021, they are at its highest point since October of 2014, $3.19. Now, obviously, there are a number of issues as to the reason why, but trying to explain OPEC Plus to a person who has to fill up their tank at $3.19 doesn't necessarily work super well if you're the White House. And another looming and very real issue going on, the supply chain. Take a look at some of these headlines. America is running out of everything.
Yeah, everything. And by the way, over the weekend, somebody called me. She said, "You're a coward. You need to get off the radio because you don't understand how the whole gasoline thing works." And I just started laughing. For those of you guys who don't know, for years I was a broker who dealt mostly in the energy and the currency markets. The things that he is doing today, right? The taking away the leases and stopping drilling in certain areas, those are 5 to 10 years out before we'd feel that sort of it. OPEC has an issue that they've played this game for decades and decades, where they release a little bit, they up the pipeline, and then they bring it back down as far as production. There's a lot of things. We have so much oil still in reserve. It is not, but if you're the president, there are things you can do. And that's just it. People aren't sitting around all day worried about the things like the vaccine. I don't know anybody's talking about this anymore. I don't. Outside of, oh God, I got to wear a mask here. I got to do this. Now that the mandates are coming in, they're frustrated with that. It's back out there. But this weekend is a perfect example. I watch football all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I rested, worked out a little bit. I went home. I took a half day Friday, and it was amazing. For me, it was incredible. I went home, and I passed out. I work a lot of hours. I drive a lot. I got home, and I slept. I could have slept all the way to the next day, but then I had something exciting I had to do on Friday night, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I will tell you this right now. People are thinking about the holidays are here. What does the supply chain look like? Am I going to be able to get the kids the toys that they want? Am I going to be able to get my wife that thing, my husband that thing he wants? Am I going to be able to afford this Christmas now that things are rising in prices? Is my business going to shut down again because of insanity? Am I going to lose my job because I've already had it? I'm not sure I want to get it. What's going to happen with my children if I don't want to get the 5 to 11-year-old the shot? Those are all things that people are worried about. It's not worried about whether or not they're going to catch it and die from it. At some point in time, people have accepted the fact that if you haven't gotten it, the shot, that you've accepted there's a certain amount of risk. Or maybe you don't believe it at all. Either way. But most people are trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B, how to continue to put food on their table. All of these things that they're looking at have to do with day-to-day real life. It's not whether or not, like Los Angeles with their insane, mandates. New York. I mean, some of this stuff is just, it's incredible. I'm sitting there, my God, I'm like, So my mom's, she said the other day, she goes, yeah, I got to make a choice about what to do, with the kids. So they're going to go to private school, the ones who are still in school, because the private school that they're at, has mandates has a way around getting the shot. She doesn't want the kids to get the shot. That's her. I think the kids have already had it because they were with me. So I'm sure they've already had it. So I just, it is frustrating. It is frustrating across the board. As for me, as you guys know, if you listen, I am pro getting the shot. Zero problems with it. I didn't have any problems with it. Didn't get sick even after the first or second shot. I've already had it, so according to them, I'm pretty good. But for all intents and purposes, I got zero problems with people getting the shot. At the same time, I think enough is enough. It's time for us to get on our horse, right, again. Right, we've fallen off of it. Right, we're kind of there trying to figure out if we saddle up, putting our foot in the stirrup, but it's kind of going around. We're not quite sure what to do. It's time to get on it and start riding and living our lives. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. This insanity of mandate this, mandate that. What is next? I'm curious. What is next for everybody? Is the flu shot next? Is that going to be the next thing? What's the next thing? Hey, your kid didn't get the flu shot. Can't go to school today. What? My kid never gets the shot. Well, that's different now because now we can do anything. We got mandates and we've got carte blanche to do anything we want. When do these things end? I never hear that. Hey, once it drops below this, we're not going to require mandates. And I keep going back to this, and I want you guys to understand something. This is the beginning. When it comes to this mandate, there is no sunset of any of these, and these things don't seem to last forever. So, as I've said, we as a nation at times have been, a little lazy. We ran out to get the first shot, a lot of us, right? There was a lot of people that did. Is everybody going to go again? Well, I got the first one and nothing really happened. I don't know. It made me really sick and I don't know. Yeah. Get ready for that battle. The first one was much different. This one, as time starts to go, you watch what happens. Not as many people will show up, kind of like the flu shot. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. MyPillow makes an amazing slipper. I wore my slipper over the weekend. A lot. Worked out. In fact, I worked out so hard that I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's tough. It's tough getting up. It's tough sitting down. I mean, I worked out. And it was crazy. But I got my slippers. And one thing I like about them is the fact that I always worry about my knees. For all the years I played sports, guess what? My knees hurt at times. With my slipper, you get a patented gel, you get memory foam, and the patented MyPillow fill. Right there for your soul. It is incredible. 60-day money-back guarantee, 1-year warranty. They're suede leather on the outside. You get to choose your colors, and they're faux fur on the inside. It is amazing. You can wear indoor, outdoor. Take advantage of these. 50% off right now. Great Christmas present. No supply chain issue here. Great Christmas present. Go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code Benson. MyPillow.com. Promo code Benson. Save 50% off this and a ton of other stuff. Go to MyPillow.com. Use that promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
I usually don't get into politics. As an ordinary suburban housewife, I feel a little disrespected. I teach my children not to name call. You are a blabbermouth!
Come on, man! Guys, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum?
Chad Benson.
I've worked in the space industry my entire life, and I'm excited that the doors to space are finally opening. And I think we'll look back at this day 50 years from now and go, this is the year where the human race finally started going to space, all of us. I think it's really exciting to be part of that.
Christian Bozian, who is going to be going to space on Blue Origin, along with this character.
I'm deeply disappointed because I was building up the enthusiastic response, and now we've got to wait another day.
Yeah, Shatner going up there.
I plan to be looking out the window with my nose pressed against the window. The only thing I don't want to see is a little gremlin looking back at me.
But if you did, would you go, there's something on the balloon, or whatever the hell it is?
I want to write about my love of Earth, having seen it in a milieu, in a hostile space, to see this gem, this warm, loving, nourishing planet.
Oh, God. He is just spectacular, isn't he? Isn't he spectacular? It's going to be exciting. Hopefully he sings. If you guys have never heard him sing, he is... How would you describe it, Phil?
It's different. Of course, I only know the one song.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally different.
0 hour. 9 a.m. And I'm gonna be high. As a kite by then.
Oh, God. That is going to be spectacular. They're on their way. Tomorrow, I guess. They just keep pushing it back. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Will they, won't they, will they, won't they? Tomorrow looks like I believe it's going to be tomorrow. But it will be this week. So away they will go. And once again, we will get there. It is going to happen in my lifetime. And I'm not talking about like this, you know, there's going to be affordable opportunities for people to at least experience some form of space and for others to experience space. I think that's going to be awesome. It's going to happen. Is it going to happen by the end of this year? No. Will it happen in my lifetime? Absolutely. 100%. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. Do have my football picks. By the way, had a pretty good weekend. Had a pretty darn good weekend, all things considered. I thought, ooh, I sucked. I did not. Did okay. Plus, it is Columbus Day. What does that mean? Well, you got to hate Columbus. That's part of the program. But I'm going to go back to 2018 and what somebody said about Columbus that I'm surprised doesn't cause controversy in a day and age where everything seems to cause controversy. We're also going to talk about Chappelle, who is embracing cancel culture like you could not believe. He is living and loving it. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet, text, Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Merck announcing it submitted an application with the FDA for authorization of the drug molnupiravir. It's an antiviral pill to treat mild to moderate COVID in at-risk adults. 8 pills are taken over 5 days. The U.S. has already bought 1.7 million courses for more than $1 billion if authorized, which could happen by the end of the year. The drug would not be a replacement for a vaccine, but is likely more effective at preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death.
Yep. That's the treatment, right? So you got Tamiflu and you've got zithromycin for certain things, and you've got, several different things for all kinds of illnesses that you can get. And now we could have something that essentially is that, I think, outside of a one shot, one and done, the game changer. And the game changer in the sense that you take it. If you get sick, you learn, hey, I don't feel good. You go, you take a test. You find out, okay, you've got it. You get this. You take it, and it reduces death. It reduces hospitalizations. It reduces severe reaction to coronavirus. And then you get on with your life. Now, if you've already got the vaccine or the shot, as I call it, then chances are you're not going to need something like this. Probably wouldn't hurt, but the reality is you're not going to really need something super like this because you're in a position where you've got something already fighting against it for all intents and purposes. So they're going to push, and hopefully they'll have the opportunity to have this thing done by the end of the year, and then maybe we start moving into a world of normality where we don't have to worry about fighting over mandates, but I doubt it because cities love this stuff, right? I go back to that article, I believe it was in the Atlantic. It might have been the New Yorker. I've read so many articles in the last, Well, actually, in the last several hours, but this one was several months ago, saying the hardest thing to unwind from all of this, the hardest thing that they're going to have to do, the hardest thing that's going to take place when it comes to the coronavirus is going to be the local municipalities, the states, and even the feds unwinding the power that in some cases they took and others that was given to them. That's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. We shall see. But this is, I think, some mega helper. Today, Columbus Day, or...
President Biden is the first president to issue a proclamation recognizing today, the second Monday in October, as Indigenous Peoples Day. The White House said the president felt strongly about recognizing this day. In the proclamation, he noted the contributions made by Indigenous people throughout American history, which he says are, quote, integral to our nation, our culture, and our society. Today is also the Columbus Day federal holiday. In a separate proclamation, the president praised the role of Italian Americans in the nation's history and culture, but also acknowledged what he calls the, quote, wrongs and atrocities that European explorers inflicted on Native communities.
So, it's always this battle every year, right? Like Columbus was evil, Columbus was bad. Look what he brought. He brought misery with him and stuff. By the way, if it wasn't Columbus, it'd have been somebody. You guys do realize that, right? If it wasn't Columbus, it was going to be somebody else. That was going to happen. And with him, it brought a more modern world. 3 years ago, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who I don't think is very, I think he's pretty pro-science. I think you would say he's probably, I'd go out there and say a little bit more liberal than conservative. But he's on with Joe Rogan. I remember this. Talked about all the things that Columbus did that was wrong. Get it? Understand? And he talked about that. But then he said this.
I think him coming to America was the most significant thing to ever happen in our species.
Whoa.
I think it was the most significant event to happen in our species.
The most significant thing to ever happen. So think about that. Like, that's big, right? Like, no, first, you talked about it. Like, yes, he did. He came here, and what he did at times was wrong, and what took place was wrong. But at the same time, what he did was not only dangerous at the time, it was something that, others would have tried. Some had thought about it. Some have even tried and failed. But him coming here was the most significant thing in our species. That's not me. Right? That's not me. And if the Indigenous Peoples Day, could you not pick another day? They're like, all right, we got this Italian guy that we don't like, so we're going to give it to you guys because he's a jerk and we're getting really woke. Why just not? We got days for everything. Why not just pick another day? Curious about that. Give them the respect they're due. Give them the full force of the government, day off. It's Indigenous Peoples Day, and at the same time, it's a take your day off Christopher Columbus Day. Which I'm like, And the reason he says it's the most significant thing is because he says, and if you are a study of history, you remember a thing back in the day, you had the Bering Strait, right? So there's just this giant essential, like, hey, look at this. It's just it's a place we can walk. It's a bridge. And some people came. And then they went from, what would be North America into South America. And then away went the bridge because the Ice Age went away. And then there was just a few families. So lots of things like interbreeding, things of that nature. There wasn't really any kind of outside groups of people. And because he came here, that changed everything. And over time, that changed. And now look at us, we can go anywhere. But also for the bad of bringing things, diseases, which he's not an epidemiologist. I don't think they really understood that. Because of that, the growth of what we have with our body being essentially immune to a lot of things that would normally kill. Even to this day, you always see it, right? Some missionary goes somewhere, right? They're in the heart of the jungle in South America, somewhere. They see some tribe that's never seen anybody, and they want to talk about whatever they want to talk about. Maybe they want to sell them a timeshare. They want to talk about Jesus, whatever it is. Then they sneeze. Then everybody dies. That doesn't happen anymore. And a lot of that was because of Columbus. He was both bad and good, because people in this day can be both bad and good. Because we look back and we think, God, if we were just like, if I lived in their days, I'd be woke. No, you wouldn't. You would not. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. I do. If you haven't seen it, it's everywhere. And I'm sure the story over the next few days is going to gain even more attention. You have a man, Dayton, Ohio, in his vehicle. The police pulled him over. They want him to get out. He can't move his legs. He's paraplegic.
Police say Owensby has a record, which prompted them to search the car. They say they found $22,000 in cash. A narcotics canine alerted them to it, meaning they say the cash has been in close proximity to illegal drugs. Also in the car, an unrestrained child. But Owensby says he's the victim of racial profiling and says he's traumatized.
Now, Cliff Owensby's 39. Does he have a record? That's something that'll come out. Of course, they're defending their own, but they're going to be an investigation. That's what police do. Just because you're paraplegic doesn't mean that you can't be a criminal, yet at the same time, the way that they treated this guy is tough to watch, and this is one of those things. You've got the camera. Guy said he was not getting out. How could he? He was paralyzed from the legs down. It was an ugly situation. And this is as we talk about the defunding police, the fight and the power of what the police have, and why can't you hold police responsible in certain situations? Why do they have indemnity where they can basically do stuff and they can't be sued? We have to sue the cities. Why don't we do certain things? Here's the reality of it. We need to take a step back, and this is where we think about how do we reimagine police? How do we reimagine police in today's world? How do we bring police and communities closer together? And at the same time, over the last couple days, I've not seen a big, this swelling of love for officers that have been shot and killed. No, because it's easier to be brave. It's just easier to be brave. What happened to this guy is it's tough to watch, right? I mean, his legs don't work. They bring him out. You see him dragging him. His legs don't work.
How he was treated was straight up like a dog.
Yeah.
They drugged me like trash, like garbage, something you would take right on out. I can't sleep. I can't really eat. I'm having nightmares.
It's to be understandable, and I'm sure they're going to settle with him something big. You ask the question, why is your child restrained? That's one thing. Why do you have $22,000 cash? Something else. Why is it you need to know why I have $22,000 cash? Well, our suspicion in the area that you're in or whatever is that, maybe you're part of the illegal narcotics world. Maybe he won the lottery. Right? Maybe he's been saving up. He's got 2 jobs, working hard. He's been saving up. He's got $22,000 cash. He's going to go buy a new car. They bring the dog in. The dog smells it. Says, hey, look, this guy's got a record. You take this with that. Next thing you know, we have a belief that is ill-gotten gains.
The police union is defending the officer's actions, saying they, quote, followed the law, adding, quote, sometimes the arrest of non-compliant individuals is not pretty.
No, it's not. And this is something that is going to get a lot of play over the next couple days. And I'm sure the city will settle with him outside of here because that's what happens. But there's always more to the story. There's always more to the story. And we never take it. It's all the cops are bad. And this guy was just an innocent bystander. That may be absolutely true. Or maybe The 22,000, the dog alerting them to the aroma of drugs, the kid not being buckled up. Maybe there's a lot more to it. We don't know that. But in the day and age where we take no time to find out anything, the judgment is made. And, it's all cops are bad, which is ridiculous. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Do love hearing from every single one of you, even the ones who dislike me, man. I got some people, you know what? The weekends, you just need to take a deep breath. We'll talk about that a little later. Some people, you just need to relax. That's all I'm saying. Take a deep breath. That's it, right? Monday you can be right back at it. I'm just saying. Raycon, best earbuds around. Love my Raycons. Wear my Raycons all the time when I'm working out. I've been working out a lot lately. A lot. Continue to do so. A lot. And we'll continue to do so in the future. And they're great. Easy to wear. No stems, no wires, tons of talk time, hours and hours and hours of talk time. On top of that, I get an amazing case that charges right up. I can take that case with me wherever I go. It charges. It gives it 4 full charges, which is awesome. 45-day happiness guarantee on top of all of those things. Right? This is the beauty of it. The price. So inexpensive. You're going to save 15%, but they start under $70. That's right. They start under $70. Great colors to choose from. They got the rose gold, the amazing electric blue, the white, the black, the awesome red. There is an incredible microphone. Phone calls are great. The noise isolating fit, the sound quality, all that stuff. You will love these. Get yours now. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Get yours now. Save big, an extra 15%. The best earbuds around. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. BuyRaycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
If you're part of the politically exhausted majority, don't fear. Your time to be validated and rejuvenated is here. Wake up. It's the Chad Benson Show.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to say.
The reviews are great. The debut, not bad. $56 million for No Time to Die. Pretty good, actually, for a first-place pandemic debut, but Daniel Craig's farewell to James Bond was expected to bow with $60 to $70 million.
Doesn't sound like you.
Add the domestic take, and No Time to Die has already made $313 million globally, but it'll need to earn at least $800 million to turn a profit.
Where's 007?
Think about that for a second. It's got to earn $800 million to turn a profit. Now, normally the way they do movies, right? So let me give you guys a quick understanding how movies work. Usually you get a budget for the actual filming of the movie. That includes the stars. That includes all of the stuff, right? The special effects, all of that. Just half a percentage of your budget right there. Anywhere between half of that budget, depending on the movie, to maybe double that budget, is going to be spent on marketing. So they estimate this thing to cost $250 million. So even if you double, that's $500 million. How it's going to take $800 million for this thing to break even shows you exactly what Hollywood math is like. If you don't know what Hollywood math is like, it's spectacular. Continue to go back to, I believe it was the Santa Claus, I think it was. It's a Tim Allen movie. You guys remember that movie that came out? And they just, it was so spectacular that even they dumbfounded themselves. It made $200 million. Think about that for a second. In all, it cost $44 million with doubling the budget. And it made $190 million, and they took a loss. Oh, my goodness. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. Tweet at us. Little football this weekend. I got to say, I felt good. Give you guys my picks because, I like myself a little football. And the Raiders, that was a big loss for me. I can't believe that. I took the Broncos. Can't believe I did that. Those were 2 losses. Panthers, you disappoint me. The Jets, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. But outside of that, I cleaned up. Rams won. Pats won. Vikings won. Panthers won. Saints won. Titans won. Bucks crushed it. Packers, finally somebody won that game. I don't know if you saw that game, but in the last 3 minutes plus overtime, I think there was 6 or 7 missed field goals and extra points. It was brutal. Chargers look amazing. Cowboys look amazing. Cards, The Bills last night, what a game. They put it all over Patrick Mahomes and them. I got the Ravens tonight over the Colts. Should be a very good week for me. I'm just letting you guys know. If you follow my picks, you might have done okay. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Shows your Twitter. It's the Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Something that's important. We care about a few things in this world. One of them always tends to be our pocketbook. And what do they always say? The economy's stupid. What are we seeing right now? The economy didn't add a ton of jobs last month like they thought they were going to. It's earnings time. We'll see what that's like. People are arguing and fighting over $3.5 trillion, $1.2 trillion. Every one of us has taken some sort of sting when it comes to the coronavirus. And yet, at all that being said, we've pulled through economy-wise semi-okay. There's tons of jobs available if you want them. Not a lot of people want them, apparently. But we are feeling the pinch in other ways. Supply chain is a hot mess. And this.
In the overall economy, what else matters to the average American? Gas prices. And gas prices in October 2021, they are at its highest point since October of 2014, $3.19. Now, obviously, there are a number of issues as to the reason why, but trying to explain OPEC Plus to a person who has to fill up their tank at $3.19 doesn't necessarily work super well if you're the White House. And another looming and very real issue going on, the supply chain. Take a look at some of these headlines. America is running out of everything.
Yeah. America's got issues. We're running out of stuff. Diapers, things of that nature. There are a lot of issues out there. We're heading into the Christmas season. Yesterday, went into a store. It's not the first store, but this store had the most I had seen. The Halloween side of thing had shrunk. The Christmas and Thanksgiving stuff was out in mass, and that is going to happen more and more. Shrinkflation, all of these things are real. I can't blame Joe Biden 100% on the things like fuel. People say, wow, you said there, look at this stuff. Look, do you want to blame Trump? No, Trump had fuel down. From May of last year through December, oil prices had tripled, almost quadrupled, which means, yes, gas prices went up. So is that Trump's fault? No, there's a lot of things that played into it. But what we know is we don't care what plays into it. What are you doing? And that's what makes a great leader. A great leader is someone who pivots, who goes, you know what? We've got to do something. We've got to figure this out. We've got to figure out a way that we can ease some of this stuff when it comes to the supply chain, when it comes to several different things. Last week, we were talking about the fact that they're talking about doing what? Oh, we're going to have when it comes to trade and some of these things, when it comes to our supply chain, we're going to get together and put together a task force. People need action. You've got places like California, New York, who are still kind of weirdly locked down, but not really, but kind of. Depends on where you are. L.A. County's getting ready to throw in mandates like you couldn't believe. The sheriff's like, we're not going to follow those mandates. That's a big county, biggest county in the country. You can go next door to Orange County, and they're living life as if things are normal. Yes, we're living our lives. That's what we're doing. Get it, enjoy yourself. We're not gonna lock it down. We're not gonna be this way. You couple all those things in, there are issues. But gas is one of many things that we have seen rise. Inflation isn't going to be here for a few months. It looks like it's going to be here for a bit. Yes, prices are rising, but people say, well, the good news is so is people's paychecks. To a certain extent, that's true. But remember, your goal is to outpace inflation. Your goal is to outpace currently where you are and what it costs to live so you can have breathing room. People are finding it harder to do that. Those are the things that matter. When it comes to stuff like the coronavirus, yes, we pay attention to it. Yes, you must be wary of what the possibility is, especially if you're somebody who is compromised immune system, that you could potentially catch this thing and get extremely sick and potentially die from it. Respect is not fear. But overreaching governments, that is not going to help. Los Angeles is cracking down. It's insane. This is insane. You guys want to hear something insane? It's a guy, I think his name is Christian Walker. He posted this on Twitter. He goes to UCLA. At least he thought he did.
Dropping students after they've already paid for classes if they don't upload their vaccination status.
The Student Health and Wellness Center conducts the COVID vaccination, and we keep track of your records.
And you're calling to tell me you will drop. You're calling to tell me you will drop my classes after we've already paid $70,000 for the year if I don't upload something about my vaccine status when all my classes are online. That's what the call is about?
Correct.
Got it. Thank you. Wow.
I left that in for effect. Wow. Hey, yeah, we're going to drop you because you haven't told us if you're vaccinated. Yeah, but I'm doing everything online. Yeah, I don't care. It's insane. By the way, if you're going to do a Zoom class, you should also wear a mask. That's the nuttiness of what's happening. That doesn't help the economy. I'm telling you that right now. It does not help the economy. How do we help the economy? We move forward, right? We got good opportunity and news today about the potential of what could be coming, which is a treatment.
Merck announcing it submitted an application with the FDA for authorization of the drug Molnupiravir. It's an antiviral pill to treat mild to moderate COVID in at-risk adults. 8 pills are taken over 5 days. The U.S. has already bought 1.7 million courses for more than $1 billion if authorized, which could happen by the end of the year. The drug would not be a replacement for a vaccine, but is likely more effective at preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death.
Yeah, it's about protecting yourself, right? That's what it is. You get sick, boom. You call, hey, doc, guess what? I tested positive for the COVID. Or you go in and it says, oh, let me get you this. They'll come up with some other generic name like Multivir or Corona Stopper, whatever it is. And you go and you get it. That's big news. Why? Because now we can start saying, why do we need mandates? Why do we have this crap? Why are you pushing this thing over and over again? There is never a sunset in any of this. I still ask the question here as we battle in Arizona over mask mandates at school. I've even asked the lady who is the head of the education for the state. I've asked her on numerous occasions, hey, is there when we get to this level of positivity, when we get here, is there no longer we need to wear a mask? Well, I don't know about that. So you don't have an out, but you have an in. And the funny thing is, I don't think teachers want to do 90% of the stuff. They can spend their whole day fighting and arguing with people. I don't think they're thrilled by that. Frustration. Keep your eyes on the prize. People want to get back to work. They don't want to worry about whether or not their place is going to send an email saying, all right, everybody has to get vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. Or whatever it is. It's a shot. It's like a flu shot. It's going to mitigate the damage should you catch it. And at the same time, it's not 100%. It's still really effective. Don't get me wrong. But it's a shot. Kind of like the flu shot. We don't really say the flu vaccine much. We always say, like the other day, I was at Walgreens, and it's all flu shot available. Didn't say flu vaccine. It said flu shot, because that's kind of what it is. We think a vaccine is like, hey, you don't want to get polio, right? No, nobody wants that. So what do? You get a vaccine. You don't go back every 6 months and get a polio vaccine. We're thinking one and done. So all of these things add up, because as we continue to fight over this, we see shrinkflation. We see a job market right now. If you're an employee, you got the pickings. But not a lot of people seem to want to work. You've got a struggle to get people to even show up in certain places. You've got the government want to hand out money. You've got rising gas prices, which, again, I'm going to explain it to you really quick. Is it all of Biden's fault? No. The stuff and the moves that he's making now will take 5 to 10 years before we would feel the effect. So, no. OPEC's a huge part of it. There's a lot of it. But all of it adds up. And what do we always want? We always want to be able to look at somebody and go, this is your fault. With Trump, it was always Trump. It's easy, right? The media, it's your fault. It's your fault. It's Trump's fault. He's a bad guy. He's an evil guy. He's a bad guy. He's an evil guy. He's a guy. He's a bad guy. He's an evil guy. So it's Trump's fault. Trump's fault. Trump's fault. Trump's fault. Afghanistan, a hot mess. Apparently, we're sending humanitarian aid. I'm sure that's going to be well played with. Let's not even get started about immigration. A debacle. And that's being kind, right? That's being kind at this moment in time when it comes to immigration. The economy is not firing on all cylinders, and this is where, as a leader, you should be able to pivot. But I don't see much pivoting going on at all. The coronavirus, well, I mean, we've had the vaccine, and on your watch, we've lost just as many, if not more, with the vaccine. And that's not a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of issues here, and he better figure it out. I had a very good friend of mine the other day who is very progressive say to me, I regret voting for him. And I'm like, whoa. I get it. People are frustrated. People are looking for a scapegoat. I want the president to succeed, but there better be some movement here sooner rather than later on things that can help us with the supply chain, things that can help us momentarily where, yes, you can cut some red tape, you can get some stuff done in ways that we haven't thought about in the future. We'll see what happens. My guess is no. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from all of you, even the ones who hate me, who just seemed all day. I often wonder, I'm like, are you listening to the same show I'm listening to? You guys seem awfully mad. Raycon, best earbuds around. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. They start under $70. No stems, no wires. 45-day happiness guarantee. And I'm talking about the best noise isolating fit. You get 6 soft gel tips, so you find the best fit for you. The best sound control, the best design. You will love these. 45-day happiness guarantee. You're going to love these things. 1 year warranty. What's it mean? Let's just say 360 days into it. On accident, you're doing, Roomba or something, and all of a sudden it falls, right? Your Roomba eats it, or you're doing some sort of karate move and you kick it. You send it back to them. No questions asked. They'll send you a new one. It's incredible. Wireless charging cases gives you up to 4 full charges before you ever have to think about charging it back in again. You will love these. Starts under $70. Get yours now. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Buy Raycon.com/Chad. Chad Benson Show.
Don't let the Washington Beltway strangle you. This is where the exhausted majority comes to refuel, realign, and reevaluate. This is Chad Benson.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Now it's time to find out what's trending.
What's trending? Yeah, what does that mean? I mean something, right? Like it's trending on the old intranet. What's trending?
Let us talk about what's trending. British police will no longer take further action against allegations made against Prince Andrew. Not a shocker. Not a shocker. It's race day in Boston, 125th Boston Marathon. Eric Clapton, apparently, because he's a vaccine skeptic, he's also has a shocking history of racist statements. Why is this coming out now? I'm curious. Like, why today? Why is Eric Clapton shockingly racist today? Now that he's a vaccine skeptic. If he was pro-vaccine, do you think this would be coming out? So stupid. Maybe he is a racist. Maybe he is. But you didn't know about that before? Like his 100 albums? Number one tweeting thing of the Google. So you go to the Google, you look, and you search, you're like, oh, it's the Chiefs. If you guys did not see the Chiefs last night and the Bills play, let's just say the Bills are a real team. We knew that, but they may be the team to beat in the AFC along with the Chiefs' rivals in the division, the Chargers, who are also awesome. Don't count out the, the Bills are great. The Chiefs are going to be fine. First of all, they got 3 easy victories in a row. I wouldn't be surprised if they roll off 8 or 10 in a row. The problem is you're falling behind, and on top of that, some teams, I think, are figuring out some things. And that's what this is. The football is a copycat league, and it's trying to stop the copycat. And the Bills seem to have a number when it comes to that, as did last year the Buccaneers. Packers, if you didn't see that game, it was lots of missed kicks. It's kind of how that ended. Giants, Cowboys. I don't think anybody's left playing for the Giants. They lost their quarterback. They lost their running back. They lost their best wide receiver. Yeah. Jets. Nobody cares. Southwest Airlines trending. Because, Southwest Airlines, there's been some issues with Southwest Airlines, of which those are pretty interesting. Like, I don't know. People are upset because their flights are canceled.
Southwest Airlines canceling more than 1,000 flights on top of 800 Saturday. In Denver, Ryan Lacey says he waited more than 3 hours to rebook his flight.
We were originally going from Denver to Orlando, and now we are going Denver to Tampa. We're not quite sure how we're going to get to Orlando yet.
In a statement, Southwest saying, we've continued diligent work throughout the weekend to reset our operation with a focus on getting aircraft and crews repositioned to take care of our customers.
Now, some people are saying, well, it's not a big deal, right? It's just a little bit of weather here. And then you had some issues with, apparently some computer systems. And the FAA is like, well, we didn't have any. Like, what?
All of this chaos comes just days after the Southwest Pilots Union sued the airline for its COVID-19 vaccine mandate, though the union stresses these cancellations are not the result of any pilot action, and they tell us in a statement they will continue to overcome the poor planning of Southwest management.
Yeah, so it's the poor planning of Southwest management. Is that what it is? Who knows? Who knows? 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. I do know one thing. You need a pilot to fly the plane. Just throwing it out there. Chad Benson Show.
The Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Whenever anyone asks me about trust in media, I try to ask, what do they mean by media? Because everyone is a member of the media now. The media includes the New York Times and also a no-name blogger. So let me propose to you a different way to think about trust in media. Reporters versus repeaters.
Oh, Brian Stelter, if those of you guys don't know, super trustworthy guy, totally above board, part of the media, right? He is as straightforward as it gets. It's just a who, what, when, how, and why. Zero opinion with him. Straightforward.
This brand new research by Gallup says American trust in the mass media is at its lowest point since 2016 and near a record low overall. But think about it. Almost everyone trusts some form of media. Everyone trusts something. It's just that many people trust CNN and many others trust Fox.
A lot more trust Fox. So put that out there. By the way, people ask me who I trust. Breaking Point's YouTube. Sager and Crystal, they do a show every day. I trust them. They do their homework. They're smart. One is conservative. One is liberal. They're not insane. And their numbers easily thump a lot of other numbers that are out there.
Even though we're not really two sides of the same coin. So it's obvious that when pollsters ask about the media as a whole, the results are abysmal. And that is in large part due to Republican sentiment.
Of course, it's always Republicans' fault.
You see on your screen here.
Puts up a chart. By the way, Democrats, because the domination of the media is mostly to the left, and they don't trust it a ton. It's not like they're 99%. They're in the 50s. Older, a little bit higher. Younger, a little bit lower, but, right in that like high 50, low 60. I will tell you this, the independents, theirs is down near the Republican level.
So you see these lines diverge over time. The blue line much, much higher than the red line. Republican trust in mass media is at rock bottom lows. And yet, Fox's ratings are high and Fox's stars are beloved. So there is trust there.
Yes. Remember, you're part of a organization that for 4 years pushed crap about some stupid-ass dossier that wasn't real, that nobody bought. You lied about a lot of things. You wouldn't entertain things, right? I mean, just recently. There's no way that this thing could come from a lab. That's conspiracy theory. Oh, it might be real? Well, let's just ignore it. 4 years you pushed BS and lies. 4 years you pushed crap. You wonder why people don't trust? Fox is as bad as anybody. They both pick a side. I get it. But you get to lecture us? Of course, because you're the trustworthy ones. Case in point, Jim Acosta talking to Andrew Yang about, well, he's trying to start something here, a third party.
Ted Kaczynski.
And remember, he's starting a third party. And what's he have to say? Well, first and foremost, he's got to slam Tucker Carlson.
I have to ask you about an interview that you did with Tucker Carlson recently. It took a bizarre turn when Tucker suddenly brought up the Unabomber. I want to play that and ask you about this on the other side.
Ted Kaczynski, I have to say, has written very convincingly on this, the Unabomber. Bad person, but a smart analysis, I think, of the way systems work. And his argument is that large organizations over time morph into purely self-preservation projects. Like a big system in the end protects itself, and that's kind of all it does. So our two-party system is certainly in that category.
Okay. I mean, weird that he would do that, but I mean, I think there's some truth probably in all that.
There are so many barriers to starting a viable third party. It hasn't been done. Why can you do it?
Because Andrew Yang, for those of you who don't know, getting ready to start a third party. So he answers him, right? This is what Jim Acosta says.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew, I just have to ask, I mean, Tucker Carlson, let's just say he's just a bad person.
It's just a bad person.
I mean, let's just say he's just a bad person, and he represents so much of what is wrong in television news these days. You know this all too well. He spouts off white nationalist talking points, and so why would you even go on his show? And why didn't you go after him when he's citing the Unabomber and talking? I mean, just crazy stuff.
It's the reason people don't trust the media. That's it. Look, I try to give it to you as straight as can be. I'm the media. I am not a journalist. The difference, Fox doesn't pretend that they're journalists. They do. CNN does. Hey, we're journalists. We're giving you the news. We're journalists. Fox is like, hey, we're Fox. We're on the right. Kind of get what you get. MSNBC, we've got journalists here. Some of them play journalists. Some of them are journalists. But, kind of at night, Maddow and them may have been journalists at once. They're not. Fox, they don't pretend to be journalists. They're talking heads. But that's how you start it? Like, why don't people trust? That's the reason people don't trust them. Why isn't the country closer together? Because the left does just as good a job as they think the right does in pushing people against each other. Because it's just good for business. That's what it is. That's why I don't watch any of these things. I watch Gunsmoke. I watch Breaking Points on YouTube and a few others, but not much. Because after a while, I'm bored with it all. It's just fighting. That's all it's ever been. I've done my share of, hey, you have 3 minutes, scream and yell as loud as possible. No. That's silly. I will not do that. Nobody's interested in the truth. They're interested in being loud. Because the louder you are, the more you get noticed. The more you get noticed, the better it is for your brand. And that's what the media has become. You've become a brand. Steven Crowder's a brand. Joe Rogan's a brand. Ben Shapiro's a brand. Right? They're brands. That's what they've become. On the other side, Rachel Maddow's a brand to the tune of $30 million a year. She's a brand. She built a brand. Her brand was brilliant in the sense that she spent 4.5, 5 years doing everything she could to talk about how evil Donald Trump was, all the horrible things he did, all the while with nary any proof. People bought into it. And after a while, they didn't. Didn't matter, though. She's written it to a $30 million a year contract. Good on you. I can't scream and yell insanity. I just can't do it. I can't. It bores me. I don't get it. But that's what you have to do. You have to do that now in the world of the media. Is the louder you are, nobody cares if you're right or wrong. Are you loud for our side? That's what people care about. Not the truth, for our side. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. I do. I don't know if you guys have seen this story, but it is, I love these things. It's fascinating. It's very bizarre, but you've got a couple, and guess what? They tried to sell secrets.
An FBI sting accuses a U.S. Navy engineer and his wife, Jonathan and Diana Tebby, with passing a computer memory card with restricted info about submarines in a peanut butter sandwich to people they thought were agents of a foreign country, but were really undercover federal law enforcers. That from court documents, which also allege that the wife was the lookout, there were 3 drops made, and the couple was in contact with undercover agents through encrypted emails. Prosecutors claim the Tebbys wanted to be paid in cryptocurrency and got $100,000.
$100,000 in cryptocurrency. Well, what were they doing? Well, first of all, they're trying to sell some secrets, some subs.
The FBI claims this is a stunning case of attempted espionage by a nuclear engineer from Annapolis who worked for the U.S. Navy. And the case involves divulging secrets about some of our most sophisticated nuclear submarines, the Virginia-class fleet, which cost $3 billion each.
Ooh. Well, how did they do it? How did they get stuff from point A to point B in a world where everything is monitored? We know that from Snowden on, everything is looked at. Your data is not encrypted like you think it is. They can find it all. How do you do it? You go low tech.
A couple allegedly established secret drop-off locations, and the FBI claims in at least one instance Taibbi's wife Diana served as a lookout. According to the FBI, in one case, the couple hid an encrypted file in a peanut butter sandwich. In another, they allegedly placed a secret file in a chewing gum package. Sounds like a movie.
Oh, my God. Can you believe they did that? Can you believe they did that? They did. How would you ruin a peanut butter sandwich like that? Oh, God, I love peanut butter sandwiches. I might have one today. You don't know. You don't know. 323-538-2423. At Chet Benson shows your Twitter. Tweet at us. I'm like, I didn't even know things went on. Like, I had no idea that people still, I thought they just steal it the old-fashioned way now by hacking into it. And that's what I thought. I did not know that they were stealing them the old-fashioned way, where, like, there's going to be a drop and somebody's got the lookout, right? And it's all going to be, like, super, wink, wink. Everybody's dressed in a disguise. Nope. Was none of that. None of that. It was just like, my wife's going to stand here and look. Let's go to a restaurant. Here's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We put it in there. Hope she had a sweet wig on. I know who you are. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. If I'm correct, I think for treason, espionage, they can give you the death penalty. I doubt they'll get the death penalty. But they can, right, for treason. Is this treason? Would this get up there? Espionage, treason? I just think they'll do a long time in jail. And one of them will flip. Who do you think it's going to be? It's going to totally be the wife. She's totally going to flip on him. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson shows your Twitter. Tweet at us. Text the program. So, Rough Greens. This weekend, I'm sitting there watching football. An amazing weekend of football, might I say. An amazing weekend of football. Started with college. Yesterday was awesome. So I'm watching the games. My dog Doodle, for you guys you don't know, if you listen to the show for a while, you'll understand, but my dog Doodle, we thought we were going to put him to sleep last year. Then we started giving K9 VitaSmart from the magical world of Rough Greens, and his world changed completely. He leapt from the couch all the way over into the big Papazon chair, whatever it is. And it was amazing. I'm like, did you see that? Because he doesn't do stuff like that in the past. He does it now. He is healthier and happier than ever before, and it's because of Rough Greens. RUFFgreens.com/Chad. Try it for yourself. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all this incredible stuff inside of this supplement that you sprinkle on top of your dog's food. You watch what happens. It has been incredible for his fur, for his hips. It has changed his life and has given him a new life. Try it before you buy it. Roughgreens.com/Chad. When you go there, you pay for shipping. They're going to give you a bag for free. RUFFgreens.com/Chad. Call 833-MY-DOG-77. 833-MY-DOG-77. Rough Greens makes any pet food better. Chad Benson Show.
Hashtag me too. Hashtag immigration reforms. Hashtag help. I'm trapped in a hashtag factory and I can't get out. The Chad Benson Show.
You're flying on Southwest.
When you're at the gate just being dropped completely and left to fend for yourself, definitely not a good feeling.
Yeah. Let's be prepared. There could be some more issues today. They're saying it's not the pilots who are upset over the vaccine mandate. We shall see if that's true or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it's the perfect storm. But not the first group of pilots that are not very happy about this. But I thought it was great because United's got 99% of people vaccinated. Well, remember, if a bunch of people quit and a good portion of people were already vaccinated and you got a few more vaccinated, then that brings that level up. But here's the other side of things. All that being said, pilots are a different union, and so they're not thrilled by this. It's not a good weekend for Southwest. Also not a good weekend, and Producer Phil will remind everybody. Producer Phil, remind everybody about nature.
Nature will mess you up.
Mess you up. Solomon Islands has Beche de mer, which is sea cucumber. They had a ban. The ban has been lifted. That means that you can go and do what? Go and get yourself some sea cucumbers. They fetch good bucks in places like China. For people, they go and they dive for it. Diving in anything comes with inherent risk. But in the Solomon Islands, that risk is the saltwater crocodile. 2 men in the space of, well, a few days have been killed. Yeah. 36-year-old man and another man in his 20s came less than a month apart. Came less than a week apart after the ban had been lifted. And what they've said is in the Solomon Islands, and I want you guys to understand this, crocodiles and alligators, your food. That's it. They don't care. They'll eat anything. And you're a slow, clumsy beast, so you're food. And they ate these 2 men. It's not the first time, will not be the last time, because since there's been a ban, the crocodile population has exploded even more, and now they're worried that this is going to be leading to a should we say this, a festival of food for the crocs. I say it all the time. Nature will mess you up. Know what you're doing when you go inside certain areas. And it's tougher with saltwater compared to other crocodiles, especially in places like this, because you're diving deep and they'll come for you. It's more ocean than like a billabong or small area. I wouldn't. Sorry. But if you got to feed your family and you're desperate, you will. You will. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Love hearing from every single one of you. Again, people upset with Southwest.
They tell you that they can return to your credit card and you can book with another airline. But no airlines because everybody's trying to book.
Yeah. What has happened? They're saying it was a few different things. It was, we had a situation over here where we had some problems with booking and some computer issues, of which the FAA says no. And then they're saying, well, there was some weather stuff and we couldn't get certain people from point A to point B. And people are asking the question, is it maybe the pilots? Are they having an issue because of the mandates? It's possibilities. Possibility of everything. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show's your Twitter. Tweet, text, Chad Benson Show.
This is the Chad Benson Show. Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Oh, coronavirus running amok. Southwest Airlines, a hot, stankin' mess. If you guys are flying Southwest, they'd like to say, we're sorry about the whole mess up, but sorry. Sorry? Not good enough? How about a few $100 extra bucks to fly Southwest if we ever go anywhere? What a nightmare.
Southwest says it's harder to recover from a disruption like this because it's operating fewer flights since the pandemic. The airline is, however, offering a bit more flexibility to passengers when they go to the website to self-rebook. But outside of that, it's really just an apology and asking passengers for patience.
Yeah, lots and lots of cancellations. A ton.
Southwest Airlines canceling more than 1,000 flights on top of 800 Saturday. In Denver, Ryan Lacey says he waited more than 3 hours to rebook his flight.
We were originally going from Denver to Orlando, and now we are going Denver to Tampa. We're not quite sure how we're going to get to Orlando yet.
In a statement, Southwest saying, "We've continued diligent work throughout the weekend to reset our operation with a focus on getting aircraft and crews repositioned to take care of our customers."
Yeah. Now, the question is why? Why did this happen? What took place? And does this have anything to do with the mandate and that some pilots are not happy?
Southwest Airlines canceling more than 1,000 flights on top of 800.
All of this chaos comes just days after the Southwest Pilots Union sued the airline for its COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
That's the union. Remember, unions are different. So you've got flight attendants and then you've got the pilots. Separate unions, not one and the same. United, Delta, American, everybody who is trying to put these mandates in place or finding each union's coming at it in a much different way. If you're a pilot, knowing that there is a issue and a shortage of pilots, you've got your pick in some ways of being able to hold out a little bit longer or to push back a little bit more. Now, is this because of pilots?
Though the union stresses these cancellations are not the result of any pilot action, and they tell us in a statement they will continue to overcome the poor planning of Southwest management.
So what they're saying is, this is not our fault. This is management's fault. All of this stuff that fell apart, that's management's fault. All of these things that are going wrong, it's management's fault. It's not us. It's them. We didn't take a sick out. We didn't take the day off. It's them. Now, they said there were computer issues, and the FAA said, well, not on our end. So, but this goes back to the situation we've talked about before. Mandates. You're going to find more and more people are going to be pushing back when it comes to mandates. This is not going to be as easy and smooth as I think people thought it would be. LA is finding out. Seattle, New York, people are finding out.
In the middle of the intensifying battle over mandates, the country's largest sheriff's department, Los Angeles County, suspending enforcement of countywide vaccine requirements for employees.
I'm not forcing anyone. The issue has become so politicized, there are entire groups of employees that are willing to be fired and laid off rather than get vaccinated.
Sheriff Alex Villanueva saying it's not political, but that he simply cannot afford to lose employees during a labor shortage.
Okay. But you're getting a lot of police officers that are pushing back, first responders that are pushing back. It's going to be more and more. Seattle, their officers are pushing back, and that's shocking, I think, a lot of people. And they're already in a situation where they're having issues recruiting.
In Seattle, nearly 300 sworn officers could be fired if they don't submit proof of vaccination before an October 18th deadline. The department reportedly planning to deploy officers on special assignments to cover emergency calls. A mandate looming for U.S. troops to get the shot. Hundreds of thousands of military members have yet to comply, potentially facing career-ending consequences. Deadlines for most active duty service members begin next month.
We shall see what happens there. But this is, people cannot be surprised that this is going to come. And it's who blinks first. And here's my thing. Take away all of the mandates. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we see a precipitous drop in the number of cases. And we're seeing that. Hospitalizations are down. There's a few little hot spots here and there, but you kind of see that Delta's making its way through certain areas, and some areas have handled it better than others. Other areas are still struggling with it in certain ways. But for all intents and purposes, this kind of burns itself out. It's endemic, not pandemic, where maybe we see 1 million cases a year instead of, or 50,000, cases a month instead of 1 million, or whatever it is that we were seeing. And where does it end? Where is the ending of this in the mandates? Where is the ending of the mandates when it comes to kids in school with masks? As a parent, I believe you should have the choice. And by the way, you tell your child, I'm going to ask your teacher, I'd like you to mask up. Okay. And then you go to school. And if you don't, then let the consequences land on mom and dad. Well, they can't because we can't trust kids. It's so funny when I hear so many of these the teachers like, well, we're going to let them play outside. They can take their mask off when they do that and go outside and do all these kind of things. And I'm like, so really it's a show for you guys. Because if you're not going to separate them and you tell them they could still be around each other and you could tell them they could still do all the things they do outside of being in the classroom, then what exactly is it? Is it just, are you worried about it? Or are you worried about the kids? Well, I'm worried that the teacher might get sick. Are you vaccinated? Well, yeah, she's vaccinated or he's vaccinated. Then what is it? Well, I could bring it home. I mean, this is the frustration I think people have. Why are we allowing this thing to run everything? We should be the ones in charge. You can have respect, as you should, and at the same time, learn to live above this thing. One good COVID news coming out of these things is we could have something that, to me, is the one thing that we were missing in all of the shot talk, if you will, was a treatment.
Merck announcing it submitted an application with the FDA for authorization of the drug molnupiravir. It's an antiviral pill to treat mild to moderate COVID in at-risk adults. 8 pills are taken over 5 days. The U.S. has already bought 1.7 million courses for more than $1 billion if authorized, which could happen by the end of the year. The drug would not be a replacement for a vaccine, but is likely more effective at preventing serious illness, hospitalization, and death.
And that's, at the end of the day, what it is, right? So you got Tamiflu, azithromycin, and several other things that treat all kinds of things. This would be another thing. But this thing for COVID is big. Because you're talking about cutting hospitalizations in half. And most of these people, let's remember, for all of the people that have tested positive, for all the people that have had this, we're still in the very low side of things. It's not like 90% of people died. That's not the reality. The reality is a vast majority, even people that had comorbidities and were older, survived. A majority of them did. So this, to me, is the one piece we were missing. But none of it matters if government continues to do what government does. If you're going to throw mandates out there, if you're going to try to do everything you possibly can to continue to put them on without ever what? It's the never-ending mandate where nobody ever seems to know when this thing is supposed to, quote unquote, end. Where is the, hey, once we get to this level, we no longer have to wear masks here. Once we get to this level, we're going to allow the vaccine to be optional. Because I don't think we're going to get there. The hardest thing, according, I think it was the Atlantic or New Yorker that said, the hardest thing for us to do when we get out of this is to what? Is to watch the power get unwound from the powers that be, that in many cases it was given to them, and in some cases they took. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us. Love hearing from each and every single one of you. Oh, we got some fun stuff. California's craziness is continuing because in the midst of all of this and the fact that you've won yet again, California continues to put crazy in charge. Wait till you see what Newsom's done now. And this is a win right here, kids. This is a win. We've got a couple things going on there. Oh, baby. MyPillow. Love, love, love MyPillow. The product's great, right? There's controversy, I get it, but the products are amazing. I've got a MyPillow. I've got the mattress topper. I love them both. The mattress topper to me is incredible. But you know what? They've got My Slippers. Over the weekend, I worked out pretty hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's getting a little cooler at night especially. My Slippers, indoor, outdoor. Faux fur on the inside. You got suede leather on the outside. But it is amazing. It's got memory foam in the center. Sandwiched between the MyPillow patented fill and this incredible gel made out of soybeans grown right here in the United States of America. It is awesome. You can wear them indoor, outdoor. So comfortable. 50% off right now. 60-day money-back guarantee. 1-year limited warranty. Deep discounts across all of their products. Get these for yourself. Great for Christmas gifts. You will not be disappointed. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson. You will not be disappointed. You will love these My Slippers from MyPillow. MyPillow.com, promo code Benson. Chad Benson Show.
No fake outrage here, just the real thing. The Chad Benson Show.
President Biden is the first president to issue a proclamation recognizing today, the second Monday in October, as Indigenous Peoples Day. The White House said the president felt strongly about recognizing this day. In the proclamation, he noted the contributions made by Indigenous people throughout American history, which he says are, quote, integral to our nation, our culture, and our society. Today is also the Columbus Day federal holiday. In a separate proclamation, the president praised the role of Italian Americans in the nation's history and culture, but also acknowledged what he calls the, quote, wrongs and atrocities that European explorers inflicted on Native communities.
Damn you, Columbus. It's just evil and bad. You guys know that. Although, 2018, Neil deGrasse Tyson, you guys know him, he said this on with Joe Rogan.
I think him coming to America was the most significant thing to ever happen in our species.
Excuse me, liar? Racist? Hater? Can't believe that.
I think it was the most significant event to happen in our species.
Now, why did he say that? Well, he broke it down. It's pretty simple. He did talk about all the horrible things. Of course there is. Look, the reality is if it wasn't him, it was going to be somebody else. Like, we act like if the Beatles or Elvis or somebody didn't come along, it was never going to be rock and roll. I mean, of course there would have been somebody. Of course there was. Would they have been better? Would they have been worse? We don't know. You're also dealing with people that were, not as enlightened as we are in our woke world. So they took at things in a different way. Was it good? No. There's a lot of things as a species, as human beings, we can look on and say we should totally have shame on that. We should. But also look at what happened. Remember when he came here, they hadn't made leaps and bounds, and he talked about it. The Europeans were trying to expand in a lot of different ways, trying to find trade through the Indies, and they started looking at all the things. And comparatively, you had a nomadic group of people that were here, and along comes this cat, and he did some bad things. Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Some of it out of fear, some of it out of, well, that's what they did. I mean, there was a group of conquerors. But he talks about why it's the most important thing. Because you go back to the Bering Strait, right? So the Ice Age, mini Ice Age, all of a sudden they've got this giant ice bridge. People wander across it. Then it gets a little bit warmer. Bridge is gone. Oh, geez. There's very few families. Everybody's kind of related to each other in both the North and the South. When him showing up here, what that does is it opens up things in a way where all of a sudden things are totally different. The family tree has tons of branches as opposed to just a twig. Simplifying it, but understand it. But if I'm Indigenous People Day, people, don't you want your own day? Because not only is it Columbus Day, which, by the way, I don't see the federal policy being taken away, right? It's also...
President Biden marks National Coming Out Day with a statement saying, quote, I want every member of the LGBTQ plus community to know that you are loved and accepted just the way you are, regardless of whether or not you've come out. The president touts the work his administration has done for this community, including his decision to overturn former President Trump's transgender military ban. The president also calls on Congress to pass the Equality Act to codify sexual orientation as a protected status against discrimination. The president adding that the nation has to work to prevent anti-LGBTQ plus bills from moving forward in state legislatures.
So not only is it Columbus Day for the federal holiday's sake, it is also Indigenous People Day, and then you guys have to share that with National Coming Out Day. There's a lot of things happening. We have a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff happening. It's everywhere. Speaking of LGBT, we're going to talk about it. He is pissing people off still, and his reaction to it was absolutely everything I would expect. Everything I would expect in somebody like him. Yes, of course, we're talking about Dave Chappelle, and he is pushing back big time when it comes to his latest, which I have seen, special called The Closer. It's on Netflix. 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. California's mandating two things. Both have to do with children. When you hear this, you'll go, and you'll think, God, did you really vote to keep him in power? 323-538-2423. At Chad Benson Show is your Twitter, your getter, and everything else. Chad Benson Show.
Chad Benson Show.
Independent thoughts, independent life. This is Chad Benson.
Do you think that I will fly Southwest again? No. I prefer to drive to Austin and get JetBlue.
Oh, people are very excited and happy with Southwest.
They tell you that they can return to your credit card and you can book with another airline. But no airlines because everybody's trying to book.
Yeah. More happy customers?
Southwest has had issues before, and I've been flying American lately, so I'm going to stick to American.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get a fancy motel to stay in and you feed me. I just want to go home.
If I'm American Airlines or somebody, that is, I go get those people, just put them in commercials. I just want to go home. It's not very nice, Chad. It sucks. I've been on the end of that. I have been on the end of missing a flight because my flight's delayed and then I'm stuck in a place overnight or coming home a couple days before 9/11, actually. I got stuck in Seattle because there was no planes, and then there was the plane that they had mechanical issues. And then they were like, it still has mechanical issues. And I stayed at a hotel, like a group of us. It was a nightmare. And then we flew somebody else home. And I was just like, I've been there. But this, Southwest, this is not a good look. This is tough right here. And it'll be interesting to see if this was really because of some issues when it comes to some computer issues as well as weather and not having people in place that they should have had in place, or if maybe, just maybe, the pilots are pushing back when it comes to the mandate, which they're saying they're not, but then they're taking a swipe at it and the management. Speaking of taking a swipe, I don't know if you guys know this, Dave Chappelle, never one to shy from controversy, has a new Netflix special out, but he also performed the other night at the Hollywood Bowl. And it's very interesting. The Netflix controversy is exactly that's controversial because he talks about controversial things. He's not afraid to take it on. We continue to go on and on. He's a brand. Brand is much different than somebody who is, for all intents and his brand, than the average person who, if they say something, they could, quote unquote, be canceled, as opposed to other people out there who are like him and Joe Rogan and a few others, where the brand is just who they are. And it's tough to cancel somebody who's really popular and who doesn't base their world off of, I don't know, selling T-shirts or sneakers or, whatever, beer. That's tough. It's a tough thing to do. But people are pissed at him.
Dave Chappelle is doubling down on his jokes amid controversy surrounding his new Netflix special, The Closer. Comedian took center stage Thursday night at the Hollywood Bowl for a sold-out show, performing to a crowd that included Brad Pitt, Tiffany Haddish, Stevie Wonder, John Hamm, and more.
Why? Because they know he's controversial. They know he's going to say a bunch of things, and they enjoy it because they can't say some of the things that they would think too and get away with it. Not being mean, just being honest.
While the comedian did not repeat any of the jokes in the special that have been loudly rejected, he did have a few things to say on cancel culture, saying, "If this is what being canceled is like, I love it." At another point, he was more blunt. Twitter, NBC News, ABC News, all these stupid ass networks. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. This is real life. Many in the LGBTQ community, in particular trans women, have objected to the comic's Netflix special after Chappelle used their real lives, bodies, and gender identity as punchlines in The Closer. On the topic of gender, Chappelle said in the special, "Gender is a fact."
Every human being in this room, every human being on Earth, had to pass through the legs of a woman to be on Earth. That is a fact.
Oh, my God. Now, this is where people go, gender is essentially more of a state of mind, more of a belief, more of who you identify as. It's not sex. Sex and gender are two different things. I get that, okay? Again, I don't care who you are. I don't care. Live your life. Do your thing. I'll respect you as such. That's always been the way I feel. Used to be my goddaughter's my godson. Love him. Amazing, smart human being. That's who you are. Zero problems with that. Zero. If that's what makes you happy and that's who you are, no problems with it. But they're missing the entire point. The entire point wasn't about the trans community per se and the LGBT community. It was about the fact that it's about being canceled. It's about coming after people. It's about all of those things.
He also sided with Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling by identifying as Team TERF, a term that means trans exclusionary radical feminist, an ideology that excludes trans women as women.
I'm Team TERF.
The National Black Justice Coalition called for The Closer to be pulled from the streamer, and GLAAD weighed in on Twitter. Dave Chappelle's brand has become synonymous with ridiculing trans people and other marginalized communities. Jacqueline Moore, a trans writer, executive producer, and showrunner who worked on Netflix's Dear White People, also took a stand, saying she will no longer work with Netflix, while the company continues to put out and profit from blatantly and dangerously transphobic content. For his part, Chappelle delivered an earnest moment while he doubled down on themes so prominently displayed in the doc. Do something nice for someone who looks nothing like you. We have to trust one another. For more details on this story, head to the article on THR.
Yeah. So that's where he went with that. They're coming after him, and that's what they want. They want to cancel him, right? They want to cancel him. They're coming out. People are pissed off. They're more and more angry. Now they're angry at Netflix.
Netflix, I'm done, declared Jacqueline Moore, former showrunner of the acclaimed series Dear White People, who told of her own transition during Pride Week on Netflix. I will not work with them as long as they continue to put out and profit from blatantly and dangerously transphobic content.
He tells a great story in it. And so many of the people, and this is the funny thing, so many of the people that can't stand this, right? He's evil, he's bad, never watched it. He's open to being canceled. He's fine with that. Go ahead. Still going to sell out shows. Still going to play places. Some places may not happen. I saw Pharrell was getting ready to do something big, and they were going to have a night with Dave Chappelle, and the place that they were going to do that said, no, we don't want him here. And a lot of it had to do with the Chappelle show, more so than, I guess, the comedy, but that could happen. That's fine. He's fine with that. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. This is a guy that doesn't care. It's tougher when you're younger and you're coming up. It's tougher when you're younger and you're trying to make yourself into something and you have a bit of edge in a day where you're not allowed to have edge. It's tough to build an audience and talk about things that maybe some people would want to get you canceled for. because people are always looking to do that. Case in point, we were talking about this earlier. Eric Clapton. Apparently he's a super anti-vaxxer. But now he's not just an anti-vaxxer, he's also racist. This is the Rolling Stone, which, by the way, phenomenal job. Guys, go back, check out Rolling Stone. They've never been wrong on anything. But they talk about stuff that happened in 1976. I was 5. It's 45 years ago. Think about that. He talks, apparently, Dave Wanklin, who I love Dave, by the way. Really nice guy. Started the English Beat, then he did General Public. Where is your tent? You know what I'm talking about? So, but he talked about, like, one night in Birmingham, in London, he'd gone down from Birmingham. He hitchhiked, which is, imagine going from, maybe Albuquerque almost to here, hitchhiking to go see him play. And there he is, and he thought he was going to talk about, stuff like, Vietnam War, that's like a lot of people have talked about in the past. And he started talking about immigration and all of these kind of things. And he thought it was a joke. And he said all of this, but it's not recorded or filmed. This is just based on someone's. So now that's what we're. People are always looking for somebody. It's tough to cancel somebody like that. But if you're young and you have ideas and you say things, and I'm not talking about racist ideas, which is absolutely asinine and stupid. I'm just talking about any kind of thing nowadays that is deemed controversial. You may pay the price, and you don't have a brand yet, so you'll be punished for that. And it's silly. It's silly. By the way, he tells an amazing story about a friend, Daphne Dorman, who we talked about, who was trans, and how he gave her a chance to perform and open for him at a huge venue that 99.9% of comics, even successful ones, will never had a chance performing. And her family is sticking up for him. Those people are just bad. They're stupid. This is chaos nowadays. You're just waiting for somebody's always looking to catch you in something. Somebody's always looking to get you. We have a gotcha mentality. And it's funny because so many people who want a gotcha, they end up getting somebody, and then somewhere down the road, not too far away, they get got too for something they did. It's silly. We should be able to have some fun. I don't think it was mean. Other people will feel it was mean. Other people will. Other people won't. But other people will. But this is what you have nowadays. You have the gotcha moments, and people are looking for gotcha moments. And if you did something 20 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If they can find something to tie back to you, if some group doesn't like you, and he talked about this, the blacks and the LGBT community, and how if you do something against the blacks, and he talked about DeBaby killing a guy, nobody seemed to care, but he said some things on stage that even Dave said was awful, but at the end of the day, the punishment didn't seem to meet the crime, is what he was saying. Sticky, tough today. What to say, what not to say. But when you've got food on the table, people are choosing to go one certain way. And again, it's not about, there's a difference between being funny and mean. There's a difference between being honest. Even now, if you have something that's honest and a true belief, if somebody doesn't like you and they want you gone, they can do that. They're looking for it. And that's scary. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson Show is your Twitter. Tweet at us, text the program. Football yesterday, how did I do? We will talk about it straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.
You go, boy.
This isn't about right or left. This is just about right and wrong.
Right you are, Chad. The Chad Benson Show.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to say.
The reviews are great. The debut, not bad. $56 million for No Time to Die. Pretty good, actually, for a first-place pandemic debut, but Daniel Craig's farewell to James Bond was expected to bow with $60 to $70 million.
Doesn't sound like you.
Add the domestic take, and No Time to Die has already made $313 million globally, but it'll need to earn at least $800 million to turn a profit.
Where's 007?
I don't know. He's probably trying to figure out, why do we need to earn that much? Because it costs $300, $250 to make. Maybe double that. It's like $500 million. You need $800 to turn a profit. What happens between $500 million in one and the 800? Like, where's that go? It's somewhere special. Okay. Crazy. 323-538-2423 at Chad Benson shows your Twitter. And I just, we're on the insanity of like what a normal person goes through if there is something that happens and they're not like Dave Chappelle. And here, case in point, this. Think about this for a second. This is a professor. His name is Bright Sheng. Professor, University of Michigan. He's been removed from his post because he showed the Oscar-nominated 1965 film Othello in class. The issue? Sir Laurence Olivier plays the titular role. Yes, he was in blackface. And he's been removed from his post. Why? Because, well, students complained. The film screening had being shown in class, had no remorse about doing so. In fact, Dean had to weigh in and send out an apology as well, but it also appears that was not enough for the woke students. Film shows without context. For those of you guys who go, who's this guy? He is an internationally accomplished conductor, composer, pianist. He's been nominated for the Pulitzer Prize on 2 occasions. He's a Chinese-born musician. And he's been in the New York Philharmonic, the Chinese National Symphony, the New York City Ballet Orchestra. But he is also evil. So now you're done. Gone. Gone. Done. That's the fear. I mean, this weekend, Molly Ringwald's like, I can't show my 13-year-old daughter 16 Candles because she's the wokest of the woke, and she wouldn't understand it, and I don't want her to. And I'm just like, Mom, you were an actress, right? Yeah. Can I see some of your work? No, because I don't want to hear you bitching about it all the time. You were horrible. You were horrible. All right, one game left. Let's talk a little football. How'd I do this weekend? We could do that, kids. Each and every week, I throw my picks out there. Do it on Thursday. That way you guys know that I'm not playing some game and picking on Friday. Team from Thursday night. I had the Rams this week. Boom, winner. Jets. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought, well, they got to win. They got some confidence. They're flying overseas. They lost. Pats, Vikings, winners. Saints, Titans, Bucks, Packers, winners. Chargers, Cowboys, Cards, winners. Bills, winners. Who'd I miss? What was I thinking? Pick the Broncos. Pick the Raiders. Pick the Panthers. All in all, so far so good. Tonight I've got the Ravens over the Colts, which would be nice. Chance to do really well. Well, that'd be 11 and what? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'll be 12-4. That's pretty darn good, kids. It's pretty darn good. Should be fun. Last night's game was great. The Bills are for real. The Chargers are for real. It's going to be a good year in football. I tell you that right now. And the ratings are showing it. Absolutely. It's going to be good. So far, so good. Solid fun day as always. Got you through this Monday. You can tweet, you can text, follow along across all forms of social media. Send your love, send your hate. Just try to be somewhat nice about it, right? You don't have to tell me to blank off and die, which a lot of people have, and I have no idea. Why are you so angry? I'm not. We got over Monday. Night-night, Jack.
This is the Chad Benson Show.